Good afternoon and welcome to the Manly 16ft Skiff Club as we launch into the first two heats of the 25-26 Club Championship. It's great to be back for another exciting season of skiff racing on this stunning Sydney Harbour. I'm Jimmy Bury, and whether you're with us onshore in the clubhouse or tuning in from afar, thanks for being part of the Manly Skiff community. We look forward to sharing all the action with you this summer. Joining me today are the familiar voices of Andrew Dolly Devola and Jess Isles. Great to have you both. What are your thoughts on the season ahead?
Afternoon, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being available, Jess.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this season. We've got some new big names in the 16s and a really strong 13-foot skiff fleet. I think the 21 boats registered in the 13s, so it should be a good year.
Yeah, shaping up to be really good, Jimmy. I've just been watching the last couple of weeks in the preliminary races leading up to this first club championship, and last week in particular, really tricky day, and there was less than a minute covering the top six boats. Really shows the quality of the fleet that we've got this year, and this club championship, I don't know whether we can pick a favourite at this stage. We'll just have to wait and see.
No early standouts, you don't think, Don?
I'm not going to make any early predictions, Jimmy, but I honestly think there's probably 4, 5, maybe 6 boats who could seriously be contenders.
Yeah, 22 boats.
Yeah. Well, anything can happen. Yeah. But at the pointy end of the fleet, you know, there's at least 6, probably more boats who are more than capable of winning races. Which one of them can string a championship together? We'll have to wait till the end of the summer to see.
Yeah, well, there is a real buzz around the club with new crews, returning rivals, and the Brewe's already showing promise, and it's shaping up to be a cracker day of racing. But you know, as you guys sort of alluded to, it's going to be a difficult one, and you can see right there on screen. There's one of our new teams, the Australian Sailing Team, which is a pretty cool little doing of Graham Beals and Malcolm Page, sort of, and a few others behind that, where we've got a lot of the Australian the guys and girls that are in the Australian sailing team, whether they're NACRAs, 49ers, 49er FX or other classes. They'll be jumping in on that boat throughout the season, which is it's going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I think it's great, the competition in the class and at Manly, to have people of that calibre who are really keen to get in here and sail is just so great for our club and our class.
Yeah, interesting with that AST boat, Jimmy. The Australian sailing team have seen the quality of the racing and the size of the fleet in the 16s. The 49er sailors, the 470 sailors, the NACRA sailors here in Australia, they don't get a lot of big fleet experience. So they're looking at some crossover training, different boat, bigger fleets, but still high performance, similar to what they're sailing. And they're hoping that that can give the team a little bit of an edge in having more time on the water racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Great idea. Like it's a bit like in any other sport, if you're playing against yourself, you're not really getting any better, are you? So a good way for them to gauge and get that experience.
But a real compliment to what's happening here with the sailing at Manly 16s, that they think that the standard is that high that they can come here and learn.
Yeah, great to see.
Pretty impressive. It's the Botany Access on the screen there, back for another summer. Same team on there under the leadership of Chris Thomas. Great to see those guys back.
Yeah, on board Botany is Michael Childs, who's I think in his 3rd year now of being our Commodore. It's great to have his kind of young spirit shining through, and he's doing a really good job.
And of course, Chris's brother Ryan Thomas back. It'll be up to Michael to keep those two apart, I think, at times.
Cool, and as we can see on screen now, we've got IME. They're back for another year. So that is Trent Barnabas, Rob Napper, and instead of Joel Beashel today, they've got a replacement, Marshall Day. So we'll see how they go. And I might just talk a bit about our course for today. You can see our start boat on screen with that yellow CB flag. So for those who are new to Manly and might not know what that means compass bearing. So our fleet will have 2 races today, a compass bearing meaning they do windward-leeward courses with a gate mark at our bottom. The compass bearing we saw before was 340 degrees, so bit northwest, the breeze, which is not something our sailors are very used to, so we'll see how they pick their way up the course. Our 16-foot skiffs will do an L3, so they'll finish on the 3rd time down, and our 13-foot skiffs have an L2, so they'll finish on the 2nd time down.
Yeah, we've got two heats running today, back to back. Yeah, breeze is out of the north at the moment. A little bit further down the harbour, they're getting gusts of 19 knots. But obviously we've got a bit of land mass of fairlight in front of us, but that should make things pretty interesting up towards the end of the top of the course there, Jess. It's going to get pretty shifty up towards
definitely.
the top mark.
Yeah, I think whatever's happening down the bottom end of the course is not necessarily going to be where you want to be up the top, so they're going to have to stay on their toes, and really look far up ahead to know where they want to go.
And being a Saturday, a constant procession of ferries coming into Manly Wharf always keeps it entertaining and interesting.
Yeah, and I think we are lucky that the ferries now do mostly have to give way to us, but you don't want to fall into the lull of a ferry, and on a day like today where there's not a huge amount of consistent breeze, that can really shock you.
Yeah, that's one of the cat ferries coming out of Manly now, and they're a little bit more manoeuvrable than the freshwater class, the big ferries, so hopefully we won't have too many dramas for the sailors today. But yeah, right now we've only got probably 10 knots down here at the start boat. A couple of gusts coming through a little bit stronger, but quite gusty, and I'm expecting it to be quite shifty too. So it's going to be a real heads out of the boat day for the tacticians to try and work it out on the beat. We've just had the AP flag go up on the start boat, so short delay.
Yeah, they had a sailing meeting run over a little bit longer than they thought at midday today at the club, so I think maybe that might be a bit of the reason behind the AP, just being a little bit generous. But it's amazing to see how many of today's skippers came up through our junior programs, and it's a real testament to the club's legacy, as Jess alluded to.
Yeah, for sure. I think the 13-foot skiffs are... That's all right.
Are your kids ready to sail? Or are they already racing? Come try junior sailing at Manly 16-foot Skiff Club and St George Sailing Club. We've got free coaching, heaps of support, and a crew that makes learning fun, whether you're new to the sport or already racing. It's all about confidence, mateship, and making the most of your weekends. Interested? Email sale@manlyskiff.com.au and come join the fun.
Yeah, it was just a really great video showing the passion that comes through our juniors. So at Manly, we start with our Manly juniors, with our young kids. They can then work through the flying 11s, and then when they feel ready for it, they can come join the skiffs on a Saturday in the 13-foot skiffs, and then hopefully move through to the 16s. Some really good training programs happening through our juniors. If Dolly, you want to share a bit more about what's going on down there?
Yeah, look, whether you've got sailing experience or not, and you've got kids who are keen to sail, feel free to call our sailing manager, Graham Beale, and have a chat about getting your kids into sailing. Very strongly supported at the Manly Club. I spent 10 years as the coach, recently stepped down not long ago, and a lot of these kids that are sailing the 13s came through my program. It makes me really happy to see such a healthy fleet of the 13s now. But yeah, lots of club to support to get the kids trained. There's no extra charge for the training. You just pay your membership, and there's assistance to get to buy boats. And this is a lifetime sport. Probably most people watching the program today are sailors, but so I'm preaching to the converted. But you know, great sport, great way to make friends, great way to teach your kids a whole number of skills that come from sailing besides just sailing. They learn problem solving, they learn about the weather, and they learn about teamwork. So really proud of what we've done at Manly over the years, and that's now reaping dividends in that we've nearly got as many 13-foot skiffs as 16-foot skiffs now, don't we?
Almost. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's also good to see down at St George the numbers are growing as well. So they've got 16 16-foot skiffs now on the water down there, which is the largest number since, I think,
Noah was a boy.
Something like that. And they've got now 3 13-foot skiffs on the water down there. So it's slowly but surely building, and still got strong. A couple of other classes there that are where the club's trying to pilfer or get the kids out of that into skiffs, but it's good to see that, in a sport that's in a bit of a decline, the trend's getting bucked at both Manly and at St George. So it's a testament to all the hard work that's gone in there.
And the Belmont 16-foot Skiff Club this season too have adopted the 13-foot skiff.
That's right, they have too, which is great to see. And the Nationals are on up there in January for the 16s and the 13s, and the Flying 11s are on up there just before New Year's, I believe. Busy time at Belmont.
Sure is. Great place to sail too. Nearly as good as Manly, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Almost.
We're a little biased.
You've got to be careful. There's 14 Belmont blokes in the Manly club that are going to a concert this afternoon. So,
and I'm sure there's a hello to all our Belmont friends who are probably watching. We do love you guys, you know that. It's Typhoon just there now. So Craig Nichols taking a little bit of a step back. He will be doing some sailing on the Typhoon this year, but Alex Hart, formerly of fire stopping fame, has stepped up to helming duties on the Typhoon, and I believe today he has Lockie Pryor and Will Dargaville on board. So Lindsay Stead oversees yachting, which he does often. So, and the Typhoon's performed pretty well the last couple of weeks. So well done to Alex and the team. I see their support squad on the Aloha is up there in quarantine, out here to watch the racing today. Hello to the Dion and the team on Aloha.
Yeah, on screen there as well, we've got Imagine Signage. So they're a very familiar name from last season with Nathan Wilmot. We've got Ricky Bridge and Malcolm Page. I think they could be ones to watch today. As we were saying before, there's a fair few boats who could be up in that top 5 fighting for first. And I think, Imagine Signage could be one of them.
Yeah, Nathan and Malcolm, very good in a shifty breeze too. Very good at reading a tricky day, so I'm expecting big things from them today. And Ricky's just returned from an overseas holiday, I think might have been his anniversary or something. So I'm sure the boys are glad to have him back for the club championship, even though they had a worthy replacement in Brett Davis last week.
Yeah, so our postponement flag has come down, so we're gearing up for our 5-minute warning signal soon.
Just went out of shot with Matana. There was our defending club championship winner from last year, the Modern Concept Constructions. Kurt Hansen not here today, but they have Spencer Mackay in as a replacement.
So that's our 5 minutes just started. So Kurt Hansen, I think Max Paul on Canberra Airport are both competing in the 49ers this weekend. That goes to show we've got some talent, and unfortunately they won't always be here.
Yeah, they're overseas on Australian sailing team duties. There's the Imagine Signage boys just giving us a very close flyby there. I think they might have wanted to hand some water out the window or something, Jess.
No, they chucked a coat hanger on board.
They might be cleaning up the harbour.
Yeah,
good,
might
good
be
on
the
you,
secret.
Boys. Nathan Wilmot at the club this morning was presented his Baron Joey pin by Malcolm Page and his former coach, the medal maker Victor Kovalenko, which was great to see. That Baron Joey pin might have been a bit late coming. I would have thought he would have got it years ago, but
He was meant to get it years ago, but unfortunately for Nathan, he avoids going to awards ceremonies
Yes, he
because
does.
he doesn't like the limelight as such, so he avoids them. And it's been in the making for nearly 2 years for him to receive it, and he keeps on ducking and weaving of...
Right.
He gets wind of it, and I'm surprised he didn't get wind of it when he walked into the club, and
everyone was
Nana
there.
Wilmot's there, and Mum's there, Dad's there, and the penny didn't drop for him. So, but it was great to see, and absolutely well deserved. And now Mal Page is the CEO of
Australian Sailing.
It was very fitting that he was there to give it to him.
Yeah, of course, for those that don't know, Nathan's an Olympic gold medalist in the 470 class. Beijing, I think it was, sailing with Malcolm. And then Malcolm went on to win another gold medal with Matthew Belcher. So boat's just starting to have a little bit of a sniff around the start line here now. One straggler there coming down. Who's that in front of us there, Jess? You've got better eyes than me.
Oh, they're not making it easy for us to see who they are.
Canberra Airport.
Canberra Airport,
Okay.
there we go.
Late landing in Canberra. But that's another new
boat.
sponsor.
And another boat to watch. Yeah. So fill-in crew on there today. But, yeah, they're definitely with Max Paul away on 49er duties, but they're definitely going to be a boat to watch, the Canberra Airport boat. Just had a little bit of a drop in the breeze here, and it might have that's ticked around a little bit to the right. Almost getting around to a northeast direction from the north it was before. But as it's ticked around to the right a little, we've had a little bit of a drop in pressure, unfortunately. But obviously all boats sporting the big rig today.
Yeah, we've got about a minute and a half to the start. So at this point, you can see the boats are all pretty clear on where they want to be. But you've still got time if the wind does shift to try and get yourself in the right position for the start. On a day like this with a short course, the start is so important. You can just give yourself a really big disadvantage if you're not in that first row. So I can hear a bit of yelling out of the window already with boats lining up and trying to push themselves in a good spot.
Yeah, this breeze shift to the right has made the boat end of the line very favoured.
Red Pump's red just capsized right in the middle of the rack up there.
Well, they have too, Jimmy, yeah.
I think the forward hand forgot to swap sides of the boat.
They'll be up and running. They might be a tad late, but it looks like they're going to get up and get going pretty quickly.
Le Mans
to go
start
now. Coming down to 30 seconds, but yeah, the breeze shifting to the right has made it very popular up this boat end. It's pretty crowded. Most of the main contenders at this boat end: MCC, Sutec, Typhoon, the AST boat. And trying to squeeze in late, we've got Buckingham Marine, Red Pumps, and Botany Access.
That's why I thought we'd move away from the start line a bit here, Dole. I think it's going to be a bit jammy.
Geochemical Assessment's probably in the best position there for my money. On time and at the boat.
Another new sponsor, Dole.
Yeah, they're going well, those guys too. So Nathan McNamara, who Jimmy and I know very well from the 18-footers, along with Warwick and Jack Taylor. They're stepping out nicely. Buckingham Marine just to weather of them, also looking in very good shape. Daniel Turner with Gus Williams and Matt Stenner on board. Another former club champion. Looking to get another one back this season, I'm sure, those boys. Very polished team.
Yeah, so I think we were right in that boat end start being favourable here, as we can see the spread of the fleet on screen. A little bit of a manoeuvre around that yacht for, yeah.
Just a nice little polite few words, no doubt, being said there, Jess.
Yeah, I'm sure of it, but they've bared away now. It's very kind of them.
Yeah, that really didn't help geochemical assessments there.
Yeah.
They had to squeeze up, and that's allowed Buckingham Marine to just get forward on them a little there, but they're still in clean air. That's the lineup of the lead boats you're looking on at there now. Buckingham Marine at the weather end. Geochemical assessments with Modern Concept Constructions and Alex Hart in Typhoon. Marshall Day in IME. They've got off the line well too. So, and the shebang in there, Jimmy.
Yep, they're right in.
They're in the front
mix.
line there. So, Botany Access there with red pumps.
Not on screen is Sutek, who took a little quick port jump out to weather the fleet, and they're in max pressure there and are flying along.
Right hand pressure.
Right hand pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the further left these boats are going, they're only just getting 2 out on the wire, but Sutek are coming across in some really nice breeze. So I'm not sure they really had a huge choice at the start to tack out. They were just finding some clear air, but they've come back in something which looks really, really good.
They are rolling
They are just-
over the top.
They are just
Look at
laughing,
everyone.
aren't they?
And as I was saying in my little weather report earlier, you know, this is the gusty, shifty conditions, and they've lamped onto an absolute cracker there.
0 to hero right there, Dolph.
Breeze out of the right-hand side. And we've also got Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps Red, who had that swim on the start line, had to tack out of there as well and get to the right-hand side. She's had a massive gain as well. I think she's probably leading.
Yeah, look, I think they're very, very clever at keeping their cool after a bad start and taking the time to look up the course and regroup themselves. You can see here they've just, the further right they've gone, the better the boats seem to be doing in this race so far.
The other thing too to note, Jess, is they're well above lay at the moment.
Yes.
Where the top mark is, just on the point there at Fairlight in the distance.
Yeah, at this point in time, Red Pumps Red probably the only boat laying, I think, but they've done very well. So Sutek and Red Pumps Red. Red Pumps Red's the lead boat at the moment, without any doubt.
And that's Sutek in the back of our screen.
Yeah, they've tacked back onto port and they'll be going well behind Red Pumps Red, but crossing the rest of the fleet, it would appear. The boats in the far left, we've got Typhoon and MCC. They're going to have a very long port tack to get back to this right-hand side.
It's never fun when you tack back and you're looking at everyone there, is it, Dull?
Not at all.
Yeah, even if you're feeling really good with where you are, you've always got to look over your shoulder, keep a little loose eye on what everyone else is doing.
And on that, Jess, is that a job that you as a skipper would do, or would you assign that off to one of your crew to sort of give you feedback?
Yeah, look, I think we should all be looking, but look, everyone on the boat has their strengths, and I think it's definitely a teamwork thing. Everyone should be eyes on the boat. If you ever notice something, doesn't mean you have to do something about it, but you just keep talking to each other the whole way. Eyes out of the boat, eyes up the course, eyes behind you, eyes to the left, eyes to the right. You've just got to be watching and noticing every little thing so you can make good decisions as you go. Yeah.
A shared role, most definitely. One thing I've noticed of late, Jess, I've been doing some sailing with some, let's call them younger people.
Yep.
And their level of communication compared to the people that I've coached, their level of communication compared to the sailors of my era, it's another level.
Yeah.
Lots of talk, lots of communication, and you can see these guys on the boats talking a lot more these days. There's Red Pumps. They're laying this mark pretty easily now, and they're only about 50 metres off. They'll be leading around this mark.
And it is really quite light on at this top mark. You can see they're crouching in. Something that always impresses me about these guys is their crew work is just so smooth. They're really together. You can tell they've been together and train a lot, and hopefully this spinnaker set, I haven't jinxed them. Yeah, I think that's a smart move with a jibe set. They knew that that side of the course was quick on the way up, so hopefully quick on the way back down too.
Yeah, so both Jamie Stoddart and Zoe came through right through the junior program at Manly, through Manly Juniors, through Flying 11s. Brief stint in the 13s, and they did a bit of 29er sailing, and they've stepped up. And Zoe's been sailing exceptionally well. Hugh Stoddart, their regular sheet hand away at the moment, competing in some crazy marathon race in Canada. Good luck, Hugh, in that if you're watching. Sutek second around.
Fluid around in third with no signage.
No signage on the fluid. Chad Beebe steering today.
Yeah, so interestingly, Fluid has decided to not jibe set, so we'll see how that little risk has gone for them.
Jibing now. Buckingham next round, then Bartley Construction. Altus struggling to make this mark. They're going to flop onto port right in front of Botany Access here. This isn't going to end well.
Yeah, so Botany's done pretty well to kind of keep clear and get around that nicely and calmly.
Leaving Altus in irons, and they are probably going to have a bit of trouble getting out of there. Red Pumps next around, Tyler Dransfield with Greg Windust and Jay Harris.
Now on Altus today we have a guest, Orlando Sadlick, who was very, very talented and did really well in the 16ft Skiffs last season. So it's great to see him getting a ride in the 16s. And I think he's been doing a bit in the 29ers as well, so very talented sailor.
Orlando does a bit of everything. He's been on a foiling A-class cat. He races a foiling windsurfer as well.
Talking about windsurfing, Dol, you're off. We lose Dolly for a couple of weeks while you're venturing off to Greece for the World Championships in windsurfing, Dol.
I am, Jimmy, proudly representing the Manly 16ft Skiff Club as well, I might add. So, yeah, starting on the 11th of October.
And how do we keep track of your results, or more point you?
Windsurfer LT World Championships it'll be, Jimmy. But, or watch my socials. So we're just running down now. Breeze is still fairly hard in that eastern side. It's almost a one jibe all the way to the bottom here, isn't it, Jess?
Yeah, it is. I think it's a really challenging day for our race committee. And I think, yeah, they've done a good job setting the course where they can. But we'll see if there's potential change of mark at the bottom. We'll see.
Yeah, I suspect they might let this race maybe run its course, but we'll see. There is a boat stationed at the bottom. They might do a change of course, but perhaps we might let this race run and change it for the next one. But we'll see what decision is made down here. We're just.
Yeah, so on screen we can see Sutek kind of a bit heeled over. They're a little bit below the mark where they are, and they've just got a big gust, so they're pushing to try and get through the gate at the bottom. And you can see James with his arms right back trying to get every ounce of his body as far out as possible.
He's not the heaviest sheet hand going around.
No.
Yeah, James and Joshy both doing their best there. They just got hit by a boomer, but that's really closed the gauge into Red Pumps Red. They've made a good gain there, the Sutek, just on that one gust. Red Pumps around the mark now. Zoe Dransfield. We do have a change of course board there, don't we, Jimmy?
Yes, we do.
Can your bionic eyes see what that says?
Just getting out of the way of Red Pumps Red here first, Dol. Unfortunately, because of the angle change, there's not much we can do with it. But I did see a plus, but I can only assume a plus and possibly
To the right.
Yeah, to the right would be.
But into the ferry lane. It's the only way they can move it, but I just wonder where they're going to put that mark.
Yeah, plus a green, so...
Yep. Moving the top to starboard, so... Might be right off the deck of the club, I suspect. That'd be about the right place for it.
Grab a schooner on the way through.
Maybe, and a schnitty. So, Buckingham Marine following Sutek, and then Chad Beebe and the boys in the fluid. They're having an absolute cracker here. So it looks like we've got James Smithers and Jared Smith on the fluid today. So pretty solid team there, and they're looking pretty good. Next
Here
up,
is
Bartley. Now we've got Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield.
So I think we've got 3 Red Pumps boats in the fleet this year in the 16s and 1 13-foot skiff at Manly. And did I hear a 13-foot skiff Red Pumps at Belmont too?
That's right, yep.
Yeah, so incredibly generous of those guys to sponsor 5 boats in this fleet. Yeah, really lovely thing they do for the class, just getting people on the water and helping them out.
Next in on the screen there is the Botany with a bit of a late drop there. Michael Childs with a bit of work to do here.
Yeah, I guess with the lighter breeze that's just lightened off at this bottom mark, they don't really need both people out on the wire as they round, so a later drop just to get a few extra seconds out of it can be quite handy.
You don't want anything to go wrong though, do you?
Nah, but you know, I'm used to sitting at the back of the boat, just yell more.
Yeah, just yell louder, Jess.
Yeah, I've heard there has been a little union created for our bowmen, so if they don't like what I say, you can put that in the group.
Yeah. Put it in your group chat, fellas. Yeah, and ladies. Not too many. We do have a female, or maybe 2 female forward hands this year. Geochemical assessments with Altus, and on screen there, white spinnaker going down is the shebang, just behind Modern Concept.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about, Dolly, where it does go wrong and can't get the kite down.
There's a knot in the halyard, Jess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think it looks like it's jumped the sheave by looking at it.
It's all the way up.
Yeah.
It hasn't moved an inch. Red Concrete managed to just scoot around them, and then we've got Marshall Day in the IME a little bit back in the fleet here. Yeah, you're right, Jimmy. They've capsized deliberately, so they obviously have a pretty serious problem with that halyard. Imagine signage.
Imagine signage, Typhoon, and the AST.
Well back in the fleet. They got caught on that left-hand side when the breeze shifted. So apologies to Nathan and Malcolm for putting the commentator's curse on them in the pre-start there.
Bringing up the rear is Aristocrat and Canberra Airport are the last 2 16s travelling down that I can see.
That's the AST boat on screen there. Looking like a very straight mast setup, which surprises me, them being 49er sailors. They usually like a nice bent mast, but maybe they've got sporting the new black sails. They might be looking to try and get a little bit of depth into that mainsail for the lighter air.
Yeah, I think a day like today is definitely a day where you need to be changing gears the whole way up the course. Skippers should be having that boom bang canoe in hand all the time, every gust, every lull, changing gears. I think that's something a lot of new guys that come into the skiffs don't quite get right, and maybe there's a bit of learning and coaching that needs to happen just to kind of help guide them through exactly what your sail should look like, what it looks like from behind isn't necessarily what it looks like from where you're sitting in the boat, and just keep talking to each other and working to get it right.
Yeah, a lot of them earlier on are just trying to get comfortable in the boat, so they find it difficult to get their head around too many things to think about at once.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, you did right, Jess. The guys at the front of the fleet are constantly changing gears. A few of the 13s coming down now. Leaders in the 13, we've got Buckingham's in front, which I think is Theo Franklin and Ash Napper. Looking at them there, I'm pretty sure that's Ash in the back. Yep.
Yeah, it is, and they've been out training the house down.
Next we've got, that's one of the Milnham boys, so 41. Who's that, Jess? No name on the boat. But that was Benny Milnham, so that must be Botany Access with some different sails. Ben's listed on Botany Access.
Our next 13 on screen is Harkins with Heidi Bates and Zara Marks. So Heidi sailed with Orlando last year, and now she's got Zara on, so it'll be great to see them doing well so far.
All-girl team, yep.
Yep.
So Heidi, the former national champion. We'll expect big things from them this season again. And the 13 fleet, they're all pretty close here, Jess. So
yeah, they're doing well.
Some good racing.
Yeah, so we might just make our way back up the course now. We'll see where they've put this top mark.
It's going to have to be a long way in the right. I think I might have been right, Jimmy. I think it might be on the club deck.
Well, the Matana's not on its mooring, so they can just use that.
Use the mooring. But it makes it very tricky because they've got to get past stay in pressure and get past the headland at Kilburn Towers. Very big wind shadow. So you don't want to get in too close, but you don't want to get out too far.
Just talking about the 13s quickly, the Manly Club helped finance to build the 5 new boats during the winter, which is good to see. So
yeah, well.
And 5 wasn't enough,
yeah,
from what I hear. But
yeah, that's right. There was more demand than supply.
Yeah. So and there's Red Pumps Red coming downwind for the second time, 2 of 3. So going to be a very, very quick race, this one.
Yeah, freshwater class ferry rounded the mark there, I think, Jimmy. So hopefully we're not going to upset them too much. Hopefully Phil Barnett's on duty today.
Is he back from overseas yet?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. But hopefully the skipper of that boat will be working with us a little bit today and give us a little bit of leeway.
Yeah,
they're
so
generally pretty good.
Yeah, there's our top mark on screen. So it's now got that kind of fluoro green wrap around it to signal that we have a change of course mark.
It's Fluid with the white spinnaker around in 3rd, with Red Pumps charging up into 4th.
Yeah, pretty good gain from the Red Pumps there, Jimmy. They've come through pretty well. There's Sutek on the port jibe running down, looking for a bit more pressure. They're a little bit soft there now, but they're slowly gaining a bit more speed. But once again, they'll lay this bottom gate very easily. One jibe, they might have to put one in just to get a bit of depth at the bottom, but it's almost a straight up and down course here where I'm sure the next race will be moving that start line over towards the Bombora a little.
Yeah, I'd say so. So on screen we've got Red Pumps and Bartley.
That was Fluid. We just flew over the top there. They're hanging on very well, Fluid.
And Geochemical just rounded the mark.
Modern Concept just getting a little tack in there underneath Botany. That's clear. Botany didn't have to change course at all there. So well done, the MCC boys. They'll get the bear away done. They'll probably jibe set here, I suspect, will they? Yep. Bit scrappy, bit under pressure. Work to do for both those guys to get up to the leaders. Windward sets for both of them makes it difficult.
Compared to some of the 18s that we also commentate on Dole where they're now going to a windward
They
set.
are. You do the leeward set, it gets caught on the jib.
Yep.
Yeah. Much bigger spinnaker, right? It's Altus just a bit on their ear there. They need to get that flat and get the jibe done. There they go. Imey, a little bit of a gain there. They're coming back, but
just snuck inside.
a little bit at a time, and they're followed by Imagine. It won't be the opening round of the club championship that they're looking for. There they go, driving now. That kite will go up. Very patchy up this top end in Manly, folks.
Just for the viewers at home, I'm looking way off in the distance at the bottom mark, and Red Pumps Red is going around. Zoe's going around the bottom mark for the last time.
Yep, and Sutek are just rounding in, currently in second.
Well, a little bit of a gust on them there, on the Sutek, but they're round cleanly. That might have been our drone blowing them over.
Here's a chasing pack of, I think that's Shebang with the white spinnaker on the left of screen. Then you got Imey. Then Imagine Signage, Typhoon. And apologies to that other white spinnaker in between the other two.
Can't pick it.
No. It's our director's favourite colour spinnaker. He loves white spinnakers.
Yeah, nice.
On every bait.
More and more going for it because it's quite a stable cloth, a white cloth. There's a lot of people going for that unless their sponsors require a particular colour.
Yeah, so Red Pumps and Bartley are our next two around. And Fluid just sneaking in there as well.
But yeah, another couple of positions picked up by the Tyler in the Red Pumps there, so good gains being made. Very good race from Dan Bromelo in the Bartley Constructions. He's just tucked in behind Fluid and Red Pumps there.
Yes, that's my brother on board as well with Jesse Lilly and Andrew Isles. I was able to sail with them a couple of weeks ago and kind of had a chat about, like, you can do it. It's just confidence and believing in yourself, and as soon as you give up in a race, you're just going to slip backwards. So, yeah, great to see them doing well today so far.
Your words of wisdom obviously work,
yeah?
Jess. Hey? Maybe you should take on the club coach role. But no, they're having a great day today, and they're not super light, those boys, either, so they're doing well.
Yeah, they're doing good.
Really well. But Zoe MCC just coming in on approach there, leading Botany Access in behind them with the blue spinnaker, you can see. A little bit in the distance is Shebang with the white and Imey with the orange, and they're followed by Imagine. So they're not going to make too many gains with one lap to go. Sutek just off screen at the moment, but I can just let you know, there we are now. Sutek have, thank you fellas, Sutek just made a little step up to windward there. They were to leeward of Red Pumps Red, and they wanted to get on that same line rather than be controlled by the boat to windward. So they've made a step up, and they've stepped up to a little bit of pressure too, but both boats are heading towards that lee of Kilburn Towers. You've got to get through that well to do well. But yeah, good gains from the Sutek there, isn't there, Jess? They're closing in a little.
Yeah, I think sometimes you do have a bit of an advantage being the boat behind, because you can see and kind of predict what's happening up ahead of you. We've got Buckingham on screen now, currently in third.
And just that little bit to leeward, so...
Yeah, and you can see how they're kind of really leaning right forward, trying to get all weight forward through the light patches.
No one walks a boat more than Matt Stenter and Gus Williams. They are up and down that gunnel. constantly working the boat. But yeah, they're probably just getting a little bit of gas from Sutek there, but what they might gain is being a little bit further to leeward, they might miss a little bit more of the lull. So we'll see how that pans out. There's the two boats on screen there now, so you can see the gap.
Yeah, and you can see the difference between Buckingham really kind of sailing in a nice line by the looks of it, and Sutek have slowed right down just in that lull.
Yeah, just a little bit more pressure, but Buckingham are going to sail into that lighter air shortly, but just for that little bit of time they made a gain there. So pretty cunning, Daniel Turner. But yeah, this top three are closing up, but Zoe Dransfield and Red Pumps Red still with a pretty healthy lead, and you're just looking back there now on Sutek and Buckingham. Now, our camera makes that distance look further than it is, folks. They're still pretty close here.
And there goes our leader in the 13s, Buckingham Marine Services, closely followed by the Harkin. Who else?
Yeah, good gain from Heidi there too. She was a lot further back than that on the first lap. So she's coming at them. They're pretty light on the Harkin this year. So just on approach to the top mark for the last time.
Yeah, hitting a bit of chop on the Red Pumps Red, but they seem to be keeping it fairly smooth. Yeah, Sutek has just taken another dig out to the right. I think Buckingham had tacked behind them before as well. You can see they're both kind of in a similar position they were before. I think just keeping on trying to find that breeze. You don't want to get stuck too low on approach to the top mark, and then you're tacking when you don't have a choice. It's much better to tack when you do kind of have that choice of where you want to be.
Yeah, but good decision from the Sutek boys there, just to put that tack in and cover off on Dan Turner. Just make sure he doesn't get an inside edge on them by getting to their right. Pretty classic tactics there, but well done to Mikey Kerner and the boys. Just making sure they keep Daniel Turner in check. Here we go, final approach into this top mark for the last time for this first heat of the club championship. In comes Zoe. They'll go straight into a... Are they going to set or are they going to jibe? They'll probably get it up and then jibe, I think.
Yeah, I guess just giving themselves a bit of separation from that point.
They don't want to get up into that lull, into that lighter air.
And also with all the boats on approach to the top mark, you can often find yourself just getting dumped under all of them, so a bit of separation can be good, and it appears they're probably confident they can get their way to the bottom mark okay.
Well, down to the finish this time, and the finish is a little bit to the left of the bottom gate, but this breeze is lighter, and in the east a bit more. They should get there pretty comfortably, I think. They're in nice pressure there, so they should be okay. Sutek doing the same. Straight set, out on starboard jibe, and that last little exchange, they got a little bit of a gain. Just push forward the separation on Buckingham Marine, and Red Pumps has closed in on Red Pumps. Tyler Dransfield has closed in on Buckingham a little, so it's getting a bit tighter at the top.
Yeah, well, Buckingham got caught up with those couple of 13s. You can see their dole. Unfortunately, they were all on lay.
And couldn't get out of the gas.
And yeah, just couldn't get out of it. Even like a 13-foot skiff's enough to affect a 16. So
sure is, especially when there's a few of them. Sutek there now. They've got nice power there. They're two stringing. They're looking for some height. They're not dead flat there, so they're pushing obviously for a little bit of height at the moment. So they might be thinking they're not on a ley line for the finish, but it will get lighter as they get further down the track here. It's a lovely shot we've got of the boys there doing their work, and there's our leader, Red Pumps. Now they're in a lot less pressure there, as you can see. So there's the comparison. Thanks for that, Chits. Down pressure on Red Pumps, and The Sutek coming in hot, but they got a lot of distance to make up. Not too far to go to this finish. Red Pumps Red just starting to pick the pressure up again now. They're on a nice ley line for the finish.
Yeah, bit of pressure building. You can see them hiking out. Boat's still flat though. They're looking nice. First kind of panel in the kite just rolling. That's how you know that it's exactly where you want it to be.
Once again, drop in pressure. A little bit of more shift to the east, and
does
they're
that
just pushing
spinnaker look a little bit
Yeah,
small? I think that's
about to
number
say
2
that,
spinnaker
Jimmy.
on the big rig.
I don't
Yeah,
know. The
it's
luff's
just-
not that tight, but
It's not hoisted all
it's
the
not
way.
all the way to
It's
the
not
top.
all the way
No.
up.
Well, it seems to be working pretty well for them, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
It does look funny now that you point it out. Maybe they might run that scenario all the time. Seems to be going well.
new trend.
Yeah, as Jimmy's pointed out there, you can see the spinnaker isn't fully hoisted to the top. It does look short in the foot. And the luff is fairly tight. So I think Jimmy's on the money there. That looks like a number 2 kite, doesn't it, Jess? The bloke that makes those spinnakers won't be very impressed. I'm sure of that.
Guess who's getting the 5:30 phone call tomorrow? It's not us.
But they're going to take the win. That's all that matters.
Yep, so that blue mark just to the right of screen is the finish mark between that and our same start boat. So yeah, congrats to Red Pumps Red, Zoe and the boys. Just had a really, really good start to the year so far. Yeah, so well done to them. And here is Sutek coming down.
Close with Buckingham.
Yeah, Buckingham has really caught up on this final leg.
On a charge. And yeah, Sutek might be on a bit of a struggle to get to this mark.
Yeah, I think with Buckingham having a bit more weight on the side, they may have handled that pressure coming down a bit better.
Oh, I think the Sutek is still going to get there though,
Yeah,
folks.
only just.
There you go. They're over.
Yeah, really good fight back from Ruffy on Buckingham. That's something they're well known for. I've heard a few times no one sails a better downwind than them, so good on them for fighting back.
Well, they were a bit deep early, as were our next boat, Tyler Dransfield, in the red pumps with Greg Windust and Jay Harris. Big comeback from those guys. They needed to get it right, and they did. They were pretty deep early on. And for our 13 followers, I'm pretty sure we had Buckingham Marine take the win ahead of Harkin, and then we had number 41 sail number, which to me looked like Ben Millam crewing. But
Yeah, with Harrison Thomas on the Botany Access. They had a funny little 5, looked like out of electrical tape in front of
the sail number.
the 4. So
Yeah.
that's what makes me think
They're
it was
using
boat
an
number
old
54.
sail. Okay, so we'll call them Botany Access for today. Justin will be happy with that. We had the fluid come through next with Bartley Construction after them. Go on, Jess, you've got to talk your brother up.
Yeah, good job, boys. I saw a little pat on the back there, so it looks like they're happy.
Geochemical assessments. The next boat through. They will be, what will that be, Jimmy? About 6th, 7th?
7th, I think.
Yep.
MCC coming down in 8th. And tight finishes with our 13-foot skiffs. think for our new crew in the 13s, this is probably a pretty perfect day for them to kind of get comfortable, find their feet. Nothing too tricky, flat water.
Yeah, you're right, Jess. It's the flat water makes a huge difference to bedding your feet into a boat and getting to know it.
Yeah, shifty but fairly easy conditions. So
that's
there's a dive co with Imey in the background, and imagine signage with Shebang chasing hard there, but going to run out of runway. And then the Botany Access, and I dare say the one after them, that white spinnaker just up under Smedley's Point there, or Kilbourne Towers, as Dole refers to it as the Typhoon.
yeah, a bit of a shame. A few of these boats were up there early on and got pinned out on the left-hand side, and when the breeze shifted to the right quite hard, they really were at a big disadvantage.
Especially when Dolly spoke them up before the race.
Yeah, the commentator's curse. We all
and
know
then during the race.
we all know how the commentator's curse works, Jimmy.
And here comes the Altus. Yeah, bit of bad luck for him at the top mark, which was a bit unfortunate. But looking at that, I think Phil has two young people stepping up into the 16-foot skiffs in Oliver Cook and Orlando Sadlick.
Yeah.
So good on them for giving it a go with, I think Phil Cook is probably he'd be close to the longest.
I believe him and Fast Eddie, Craig Nichols, are both well up there, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
Fast Eddie would have
he'd have the title.
He'd have the title for now.
He's just got to get out this season.
Yeah. Make an appearance. Yeah. Now, tell me, Jimmy, is Oliver Cook Gavin Cook's son?
I believe so.
Yes. Yeah. So, Phil's nephew, and everyone from Manly knows that the Cook name at Manly 16-foot Skiff Club is synonymous. Very long history at the Manly Club for the Cook family.
So on screen there, we've got our Australian sailing team.
Yeah, okay. Chits is telling me it's his 35th straight season. So not only is it his 35th, he's never missed one. So I think that goes through to his junior years. But yeah, that's a pretty good effort to never miss a season sailing, isn't it, Jess? Yeah.
For sure. I did enough and gave up after a while, so good on him.
You'll be back.
He's in the same boat as you, Jess. He's a school teacher, so, juggling all the school work and like HSC time, as you know, like marking everything, and he just, it's incredible, and he just comes and does what he does, and, he does. It's not like he lives 5 minutes up the road either. He comes from Epping.
Right.
So it's a big commitment to come here, then I think he goes up to Faye's house at Fairlight to pick the boat up, which is, and then from there down to Manly, and then does all the same in reverse, so...
Yeah, lovely write-up on the club website about Phil's season this year.
And there's a new sponsor for this season, the Buck and Simple.
Buck and Simple Architects, I believe.
Yes.
They are. And obviously they have a 13 as well. But on the 16, Tommy Cameron, who came through juniors under my tutelage, stepping up to the 16s this year from the 13s, and with a very good mentor in Tim Lees and Pete Jansen sailing as crew for Tom. So doing well.
There's the Red Concrete, which is the third 16-foot skiff sponsored by Greg Windus, or the Windus family.
A little window in their spinnaker there, Jimmy. So hopefully that doesn't get any bigger. It looks like it's just contained to one panel, but a bit of a tear there. Probably got caught in the hoist.
Yeah, it looks like they were the ones who had trouble getting their kite down.
Nozomi, that was the blue spinnaker there. That was one. So they've had to have a swim, try and get that spinnaker down, and still managed to finish, which is great. And then
good on them.
Chasing them home is the Canberra Airport.
So you're not where those guys want to be, but yeah, a bit of a fill-in team on the Canberra airport today. Nozomi, I should mention, Eliza Kirby with Connor Hay and Hugh Skeen. Newish combination there as well. But great to have Eliza, another female, in the Manly squad down here. We've probably got more female participation at Manly across our juniors through to seniors than a lot of clubs, something we're very proud of. While we're just biding our time here, to a little shout out, Manly racing doesn't happen without our volunteers, and thank you to all our volunteers that get us on the water. But one of our very long-standing volunteers who has been with us for a couple of decades and laying the courses, shout out to you, Mark Connor, who's just having a bit of a recovery after a hip replacement. He'll be back here, no doubt, as soon as he can, because Mark loves his Saturdays at the Manly 16s. So, Mark, on behalf of everyone at Manly Skiff Club, we wish you a speedy recovery and hope to see you at the club in the very near future.
And then also, while you're talking about volunteers, Dol, Barry Hodge was made a life member today at the annual general meeting. Hodgie has always been one of the nice guys around sailing and always helped out, and finished his competitive sailing career and now is on one of the rescue boats. So good on Hodgie for his service to the club, particularly around the Keg Cup. Very instrumental in the operating and the running of the illustrious Keg Cup. I think Hodgie's the only one with a set of rules, which was written on the back of a coaster some time ago. But just got a message through from Mr. Craig Nichols as well, saying Phil is in the boat shed, no picking up a boat. So must be someone else there.
Oh, well.
So, but I think he's talking about Phil Cook, I think. But
So someone else is on the Altus.
you just got to try and decipher Craig's messages. Sometimes he would have been good in the war. Instead of the Enigma machine, we could have just used Craig Nichols for text messages. And the start boat has the Follow Me flag up, which is a yellow and black checker flag. So we're on the move.
I can see the compass bearing changed from, I think, 340 for the first race to now 040, so it swung a long way right, as we predicted.
Yeah, I expect we'll be heading over towards the Bombora area at least.
So, and obviously, because we're in a bit of a holding pattern, we've got last year's top 10. So just to give the viewers at home a bit of an idea, there they are for the 16s and the 13-foot skiffs. So that's who rose to the top at the end of last season. And a lot of those teams will be hoping to do it again, but...
Yeah, for those who weren't aware, Moon and Yachts is now the Buckingham Marine. So that's a change of sponsor for them, but same crew.
And Davis Marine is now the geochemical assessments. So other than that, all the rest are normal riders and players.
And it's a reasonable form guide. I think there's been a few small changes, but it was tight, and anything can happen. Like I was saying earlier, this fleet has just got tighter and tighter. The racing is closer and closer. A championship can be decided on a missed shift, a torn sail. You know, something simple can...
A bit of rubbish in the water like the coat hanger doll.
Yeah, well, there you go. That might have come off their rudder maybe when they handed that to us earlier. But yeah, the smallest things can make the biggest differences. So it's going to be a long summer. Some hot racing on the best harbour in the world. Yeah, and only 2 weeks till our next club championship, which unfortunately I won't be here, as you mentioned, Jimmy, but pretty tight turnaround. I think our next one is a long course. Is that right, Michael? Yeah, so long course for the next one. So in only a couple of weeks' time, we'll have 3 of the club championship heats done and out of the way.
What a way to start your season,
Yeah.
if you have 2 shocker weekends.
Well, you know, it just shows that you need to be prepared, and the boats who have put in the effort in the off-season
Yeah.
will reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting, the boats that are going out training and the boats that aren't going out training. You know, the old adage is you don't get any better unless you're on the water. So, you know, it's good to see the 13s. I think it was last Friday night we had to send rescue boats out to...
They ran out of wind?
Run out of light. So
Ran out of light, yeah.
running out of light, so we had to go out and herd them like cats to get them back in. You know, you just can't get the kids off the water. It's a real good problem to have.
Yeah, indeed
sure.
it is. Yeah.
And I guess with school holidays coming up, we might see a few more of them out there and about.
Yeah,
So,
and daylight savings clicking over, that'll help with the light.
yeah, that'll help. That'll solve that issue.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I really love about sailing in this club is the rapport that everyone has off the water and on the water. I think just looking out the window, there's a few boats who just kind of pull up alongside, have a good chat to each other, talk about their race, and it's still really strong competition. So, yeah, I think the kind of club level sailing that we have here is a really good balance between strong competition and good friendships and long-lasting friendships that we can see. You can see that all the way up to our volunteers as well. Yeah, doing something voluntary every Saturday for 7 months of the year is a really big ask, but there's a good reason they keep coming back, and yeah, the relationships you form and the calibre of the club is quite special, I think.
We're just one big happy family, Jess.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. And that's what we try and foster. Race hard, and then I'll go back to the club and talk and maybe a bit of banter.
Yeah, I was chatting to Clint Bowen earlier today about our rivalries on the water back in the day, but after the race we're sitting around catching up, like figuring out how to go quicker. You know, like Clint was sort of, you know, alluding to that period of time in, I think it was 2004, 2005ish thereabouts, that we been a while since Manly had a national title on the shelf, and you know, we had to really go at it and push
Step
each other, and you know, the rewards came, but it was you know, a lot of people thought that the fire stopping team and the fluid team really had it in for each other because we're very fierce on the water, and obviously in comments and so forth in news articles back in the day. But you know, in actual fact, as you said, Jess, really good friends. So it's you know, it's good to see the camaraderie around the place, and it's a good place to be.
Gee, and you both had some beautiful boats, Jimmy.
So, yeah, some slouch built them, Devolver boats, Dolly. So, but yeah, it's
they were pretty quick.
Still quick, mate.
Yeah.
They're you know, they're built to last and still going around.
Built to last and built to go fast.
Yep.
Maybe that should have been my sales pitch.
Yeah. All right, so our start boat has moved way further down, further away from Manly now, so we've got probably a bit longer of a runway to set our course. So this will take a little bit. Obviously, all the marks have got to move, all the boats have got to come down. So, yeah, appreciative of all our volunteers who are on the run doing stuff at the moment.
Making it all happen. So, yeah, for viewers at home, we're now situated just between the Bombora and Middle Head, about halfway across the Sound. I expect the top mark will be not too far off, probably Kilburn Towers or Smedley's Point, Jimmy, as you always like to correct me.
Technically correct.
I know.
I think.
Geographically.
Geographically.
Yeah. Whereas we've always called them the toilet rolls.
Yeah.
But, we'll just get this course laid in. It's MCC on screen there. They'll be looking to improve. They didn't have a shocker, but they'll be looking to improve on that last first heat. Just a bit unlucky getting over to that left-hand side, not seeing that shift coming. The two that did get to the heart right almost did it with a little bit of luck by getting bounced by the rest of the fleet and having to tack out, and then got the benefit of the shift and the pressure. Very patchy here now though, Jess, isn't it? Very gusty.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Some big holes in it, but there's a little bit of pressure in the gusts, so...
Yeah, I think the 2-race days are interesting. Like, I kind of liked it on a day like this where you had a chance to reset in the middle. I think you've got to give yourself a kind of mental break from all the thinking you've probably just been doing. But you've also got to have a good chat with your crew and have a think about, okay, we've moved. What's the new course going to look like? Where do we think we want to go? Where do we think we want to start? There's lots of things you should be discussing at this time. And hopefully they've all brought a bottle of water too.
Yeah, keeping hydrated. But yeah, I also like to get an early run off what I think the start line's going to be and have a little bit of a short beat just to see what's going on. And I've just seen Imagine Signage, Sutek and Buckingham Marine do exactly that. Taken a little tip out of Dolly's coaching manual. Maybe they've been watching the live stream back. But yeah, they're just heading up into the Bombora area for the start of the beat. And the breeze is very shifty, so it was a lot more right before and it's ticked back a little bit to the left again. Sutek were quite high on port tack there before. What were you looking at there, Jimmy? Nearly northeast, was it?
Yeah, well, 040 is almost northeast.
Northeast, yeah.
For those that are watching and wondering why we're going 040 and what was it before, Jess? 340?
Yeah.
We're talking degrees of a compass for those that may not know, so something as simple as that, but it's how you still do your compass bearing, hence the name, compass bearing. So... back when I was a kid, they were called windward lewards. We didn't even get a compass bearing. We just got told where to go.
It was upwind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sail up there, you'll find that mark that belongs to your club, go around it and come back out.
But yeah, we're starting to get organised now. The Matana has the anchor down. Looks like one of the boats has the pin with them, I think.
Well, it's a pin boat, which is getting towed at the moment, unfortunately. So there's something wrong with the...
Yeah, I think a couple of weeks ago they had a bit of a problem with
water in fuel or something.
Water in fuel, yeah, not ideal. But as a pin boat, they've just got to get to the right spot and put their anchor down. So it's good they're managing.
Tell us about the people on the pin boat, Jess. Who's on there today, do you know?
I don't know who's on the pin boat today.
I thought it might have been Mum.
Oh, no, Mum's on the start boat.
Oh, she's on the start boat? I didn't see her.
With Dad also on the start boat.
I can see Dad, yeah. Or maybe it might be Bernie Kerr or someone down on the pin boat then.
Yeah.
Your mum loves bouncing around in the pin boat sometimes.
Oh, she loves it. Well, she's taken up doing results this year, so she's
Okay.
got her laptop and getting all the results done as efficiently as she can. So I think she's kind of enjoyed that little challenge of learning the system.
In the pin boat, Dole, we have Heather Taylor and Bernie Kerr.
I was right with Bernie.
Yep. Yeah.
Heather Taylor is a mum, I think, isn't it, of one of the sailors?
Yeah, and Bernie's another one of our volunteers who's been around for a while and has been incredibly generous with his time. He sailed a bit with 16ft Skiffs, helping train up some new kids that were coming through the class. So, yeah, thank you to Bernie for still sticking around and doing your thing.
Yeah, club captain for many years as well. Yeah, great asset to the club.
Yeah, we can see on screen there we now have W courses, so W4 for our 16ft skiffs and W3 for our 13ft skiffs. So instead of finishing to leeward this time, we're now going to finish going up to leeward. So 4 upwinds, 3 downwinds for our 16s.
We've got to go back up there to go to the club anyway, so you might as well make them work for it, right?
Yep. Yeah, so I think wouldn't be surprised if this race feels a little bit longer, but I can see in the distance that top mark seems to have been brought down a bit from where it was before. Yeah, so no longer in the ferry channel and hopefully in a bit more consistent breeze to where the top mark was last time.
Yeah, and still in line with the wharf now that the breeze has ticked back a little bit more to the left again, back to sort of northeast. So I was expecting it to be further to the right, but the breeze has shifted back again. There it is there, folks. A couple of our Australian sailing team IQ foil windsurfers there training in the foreground, but you can see the mark between them and the ferry wharf. Probably close to a mile beat, I'm thinking. But at the moment, there's a very big light air patch between. We've got one little gust about to come to us, and then there's a very big patch of light air before the next line of breeze. So this is going to be pretty tricky. Look at this gust that's on us now, Jess.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a tricky race. I think some boats in the last race were able to get kind of comfortable knowing with where they needed to go, but this race will be different.
Just on our side now, that gust I was talking about caught a couple of them off guard. Sutek once again, you can see next to the start boat there, just having a look at what that start line's going to look like.
Yeah, a lot of our boats have devices where they can pin the start boat and ping the pin end of the line, just so when they're approaching the line they've got their countdown timer, but they will also tell them a distance to the line so they can more accurately figure out how close they are to the line, if they're over, if they need to push a bit more speed or slow down. Quite a handy thing to have as long as it works.
Yeah, most boats using the Vicaris system, but there is a few others, the Sailmon, and a few others, but the Vicaris is becoming quite popular. A bit worried that technology, people become a bit too reliant on it, but it's certainly a good thing. Certainly a good thing to have that time on distance indicator.
I think it's also just a bit of fun at the end of a big day to see what your top speed is.
Yeah, boasting, bragging rights. As long as you didn't have it turned on in the trailer when you were coming down the freeway.
I was just about to say that, Dol. It's the only time the guys on Red Pumps ever seem to post their top speeds.
Gee, you just happened to do 110 kilometres an hour. Yeah. They can probably sail faster around the course at Manly than you can drive around the streets of Manly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The streets of Manly are now all 30 on
That's
the
right.
on the flat, so it's pretty bad when those kids on those e-bikes go past you. You feel a bit frustrated, but there's not much else you can do, is there?
Imey there, just going in to have another look. Bit of a baptism of fire for young Marshall there for his first race down here, but he's in good hands with Trent and Rob. Two of the best, that's for sure. They'll be looking for a bit of redemption this time too.
And that compass bearing has changed again to 020, so this breeze is for sure flicking around a fair bit.
Well, that's the bearing for the mark. I don't think it'll be that bearing to the wind at any given
No.
2 minute, 5 minute period. It's really shifting around. Old yacht just cruising through the start area, having a bit of a squiz. Looks like they're having a fine old time. Lucky they've got that fender out in case someone runs into them.
Probably been looking for it all morning. That meant to be on the side of the boat, right?
Not sure what their top speed on the Velocitec will be today, Jimmy.
I think that's terminal velocity we're seeing on screen now, Dol.
But I believe the starters are getting themselves ready here. I don't think we're too far off a warning signal, but this breeze is really looking chopped up and funky. Shifty and patchy. Going to make it hard work.
And for the viewers watching at home, if you want to have a look, the results are up on the internet on the Manly 16s page. So for that first race, they're already up. I think we've got Jess having a quick dive into the web page to have a look for us. But
Yeah, well done, Mum. Did a good job
Yeah, I
getting
was
them up
about
nice
to
and
say.
quick.
get an A+.
I think she's quietly proud of herself on that one.
Red Pumps sporting their new black sails from True Flow. Seem to be going pretty well through the water today after a pretty shaky start. They certainly made their way through the fleet. The Red Pump signage looks great on those black sails. Someone out on our right there, Jimmy, doing some repairs by the looks of it. Is that Imagine? I can't read the signage, but I know your eyes are always better than mine.
I think it's the Avliner Aircraft Management from here, Dol.
Obviously trying to fix something on their rig. They wouldn't be having a swim to cool down, that's for sure.
Water temp came up pretty quick over the past couple of weeks on the harbour, so
Sure has.
Yeah, I went for a swim this morning. It was quite nice, actually.
there you go.
Yeah.
19.8, I think it was this morning. What have we got on? 20.7 on the camera cat. So 19.8 at the beach this morning, the surf beach.
Should be about right.
Let's go to the 6, 5. Just about to go and see this.
So start boat has the on-station flag up, and we will shortly be going into sequence. Just about to come up.
Breeze looks like it's shutting down a bit when you look up the
has.
course.
Very patchy, Jimmy.
And that's our 5 minutes to the start of race 2.
Just in front of us, we've just had Modern Concept Constructions and Imagine signage very intently looking up course, trying to ascertain what they're going to do on this first beat.
Quite a short start line I'm looking over there at the moment.
Yeah, reasonably. And a bit more pin favoured this time, I'm thinking. That should mix things up.
Yeah, they'll have to be a bit careful starting off the pin, because I think pretty quickly you could run out of space with the cliff over on the left side of the course, and potential some holes in the breeze over there too.
Tide going out too, Jess, so
Yeah.
that's going to be pushing the boats up onto and over the line. Let's see, second heat of the clubby. They might have shaken out the pre-race nerves with that first heat. I wouldn't be surprised if we might see a few getting a bit over-eager in this next race, but it is pin favoured. It is a bit hard to cross the line, but you are presenting your foils side onto the tide, so it's giving you maximum push. I'll want to be a little bit careful. So imagine just going in at the start boat there, having a look at that line now, as I mentioned. They're not too high on starboard tack coming off the line, so fairly pin favoured. But you get down that pin end and can't tack out, you're going to risk getting into the very light patchy air underneath Dobroyd Headland. You'll need a lane to get out of there. So
Yeah, I'm just looking up the course of those, what are they called, IQ foilers.
that's it, Jimmy. Yeah.
See, I'm learning about windsurfing all of a sudden, Bob. They've definitely got the haves and the have-nots with breeze up there at the moment, and they're just up in the Bombora. There they are on screen. So it's
Struggling to get up on their foils. So that means it's sub 8 knots.
would it still be sub 8 knots with me on board one of them, Dol?
You might need 10 or 11, Jimmy.
Right, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Nice overview there from our drone. Looking down on the line. Pretty much got the whole bay to ourselves now. Coming down to 1:30 to go. Both Imagine and MCC. Imagine getting into a bit of strife down the pin end, but they managed to save it. So quite a few, as I mentioned, looking down at that pin end. Those two might even be looking to shape up for a port hand start, but that'd be a little bit too risky, I think.
Where's the Altus? That's normally the giveaway that the port hand is on.
You did bang on, Jimmy. I can see them through in line with Washaway Beach.
It's just under the drone shot there is where the Altus is.
So it does look like there'll be a bit of a fight at the pin end here. It's not often you see 4 boats on port tack this close to the start.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we might see a general recall here, as I mentioned before. Tide's already starting to push boats up onto the line. A few of them having trouble getting out of there. And
you can see the effect it's got on the start boat, how much the tide is.
Not pointing into the wind, that's right, Jimmy. And yeah, there's boats well over the start line already. We're down to 10 seconds. Pretty much all the boats down the pin end are over the line. From where I'm looking, they're trying to duck back now.
And yeah, there's our general recall, so we'll call them all back and have another go, see if they behave themselves better. Given the time delay, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a U flag rather than our blue Peter at 4 minutes this time.
If Hugh Lester was around, it'd be straight to black.
Yep.
He doesn't mess around.
Well, I think he is on there, isn't he, Jimmy? Or not?
No, he's not on there. I think he's on the Hugh Cook. By
Okay.
memory.
Multitasking there. Multitasking
There you
there,
go.
Jess.
Black flag's up on the start boat.
Yep.
Couple of boats just having a little bit of a beat just to see what the outcome of that tactics they used on the start produced. I suspect a few of them might be changing their tactics in this next start.
There's looking right down into Balmoral, and on the left there, those buildings, that's the Sydney City, and the buildings on the right is North Sydney. Somewhere in between that, there's a bridge that looks like a coat hanger.
Beautiful place we lived, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd never miss flying back home just from overseas from the vents, and it doesn't matter what time of day you come in, you just look out the window at Sydney and just go, wow, how lucky are we? And that's my playground, being Sydney Harbour.
Yep.
I've made it a bit of a thing too, Jimmy. When I fly in, I get the train to the quay and get the ferry home to Manly. And you know you're home.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, you know you're home when you're on the harbour. Yeah. So a bit of a delay. It's making for a long afternoon. Folks, stay with us though. We'll be underway shortly. Thirteens have decided to surround us. I think they want some coverage, Jimmy. Every one of them with a smile on their face, I might add.
It's the old thing, Dole. Once you get the salt water in your veins, it's hard to get it out, isn't it? And it just makes you smile no matter what. Okay, I've just seen what the delay is. They're moving the pin back.
Right. And the pin boat doesn't have a working engine, so
It's under tow.
taking a little bit of time. Sorry, folks. Yeah, just taking a bit of that pin favour out.
Poor Catherine Oles standing up the front of the boat trying to hold onto the conduit with the flag going. The arms will be burning. Small as the flags are, like if you want to know what it feels like, go out and try and hold a shopping bag up to the wind for 3 or 4 minutes and just see the burn that comes on. It's not an easy task.
Yeah, they could give her a little rest and take that down. Let her take that down and pop the AP up for a minute.
There you go, it's down.
There we go. So it'll be 6 minutes till our start.
Next up will be the 5.
And what the sailors have got to take into account is the Bombora, although it's not working near as hard as what it has been over the last couple of weeks with all the storms and that, there are a couple of little rogue ones that are popping up in there. I've been just keeping an eye on it up there. You don't want to get in there too deep and get too complacent because it can end very poorly.
As it did just the other day, Jimmy.
For who?
One of our former Manly volunteers, Mr. Paul of Shanko, shout out Paul if you're watching, we were out doing a bit of windsurfer training and the Bombora was pumping. Good mast high, waves coming through and a set, let's say a set just popped up a little bit bigger than the last few and Paul copped a bit of a beating. But survived, so some good waves were ridden and some good fun was had.
Black flag, here we go.
No messing around.
So for those who don't know, a black flag, if you are over the line at any point in the last minute, you will be disqualified.
If anyone is over, fingers crossed we might get some correspondence off the Matana. So
To let us know, yeah.
Yeah, because of course the sailors are not told if they are over. So you could sail the best race of your life and see the results later, OCS, which is always a bummer.
isn't it?
Or
Like
black
BFD?
flag disqualification.
Yeah,
BFD.
I know there's all these funny initials for different things. But either which way, it's not one that you want to see beside your boat's name, is it, Jess?
Not at all.
Or my initials, Jimmy, ADD. Pretty such sums up my personality. Yeah, BFD and UFD, 2 disqualifications you don't want. Coming up to 2 minutes to go, and it already looks like everyone's being a little bit more reserved. But there's also quite a few that are a fair way from this line. So Buckingham Marine, Daniel Turner, well down to leeward towards the pin end, as is Alex Hart in Typhoon. Imagine Signage with Nathan Wilmot. They're still looking at that pin end, it looks
Canberra
like.
Airport's the furthest away, Dole, just to the left of screen.
Oh, yes. Yep. So, Imey as well back from the line. These guys are going to have, it's pretty light. They're going to have some work to do to get up to that start line. Meanwhile, the rest of the fleet pretty well racked up, about 10, 20 boat lengths behind the start boat. We're going to see some interesting tactics here, Jess, from down at that pin end.
Yeah, I think so.
Coming down to a minute to go. And it's a pretty short line, so there's not going to be a lot of room for someone to get in there. But both Daniel Turner and Imagine are coming in on port tack, and they're going to be lucky to find somewhere to go.
Yeah, not a lot of space that the rest of the fleet have left them to come through. So risky manoeuvre.
Imey well back from the line, but on starboard tack, but they definitely need to advance up to the boats that are above them, or they're just going to be in a world of pain in gas.
Yeah, with still 20 seconds to go, some of these boats are far too low and have run out of room to get through.
Not a lot of breeze to get yourself going.
Yeah.
Zoe Dransfield and Tyler Dransfield, along with Sutek and Geochemical Assessments, trying to own this boat end. And there we go. I think MCC might have been in a little bit of strife there. They looked over the line and a black flag start. MCC looked like the only one in trouble. Imey came in on port tack, so it was a little bit hard to judge. Imagine managed to find a little gap to get through. Didn't do too badly out of it. Daniel Turner in Buckingham, who also tried that port approach, didn't work out quite as well for him. We'll wait to see if we hear something from the start boat, but to me it looked like our defending champions, Modern Concept Constructions. If they weren't over, they were very close.
Yeah, well, good on them for kind of pushing the boundaries. I guess that aim to get a good start was high on their priority list. Now lots of boats have tacked out to the right here, so I guess they weren't really liking the look of under the bommy.
Yeah, more pressure out on this side, isn't there, Jess?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it looks like Imey have made a good cross of the fleet, just coming back on starboard.
Yeah, starboard tack advantage. They just I think Bartley Construction had to take a little dip. So they're well in contention. Red Pump's red in good position as well. With this starboard tack coming back into the Bombora, it's low and slow. It's a tough one to take.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I think Imey may have made a really good choice there, putting that dig in early while they knew they kind of had the cross on the fleet, and they've put themselves in a really good position. Yeah, that top mark being way up into Manly, it's a tough call if you get stuck far out on the right. Even if you're feeling really good with where you are at the moment, you've got to always be looking up to where your top mark is.
Yeah, this is going to be very tricky and very tough to pick these shifts. At the moment where we are, the breeze is around in the left. That's why it's been making it hard for the people on that starboard tack to get back to the left-hand side. So at the moment, a lot of the boats choosing to stay on port tack and wait for an opportunity to come back, wait for a shift to come back. Those who took it early and in the header have been hurt pretty badly. So there's Red Pumps Red with the white hull. So that's Zoe Dransfield. Done well. Nathan Wilmot's done pretty well also in Imagine signage. And as I mentioned before, Bartley Constructions. Daniel Bromelo doing really well off the start here. Probably close to leading, I think, Bartley Construction at the moment.
Yeah, they could be. They crossed back in front of IME from before, so IME didn't lose too much from heading up to where they were now.
So yeah, they waited for that change of shift, which came through with a little bit of pressure. And there now you can see Imagine, Red Pumps, and just coming into shot there now is Bartley.
Yeah, Bartley seem to be on a really nice line. They look like they're riding the waves quite well. They put themselves in a good position.
These three have stepped out, as you can see there on screen,
Yeah,
massively
really stepped
early
out
on.
from everyone else. Yeah.
IME done reasonably well from where they were. Modern Concept Constructions not in a bad position, but with work to do. And just looking back from Imagine there now at the trailing boats, so they look pretty well advanced on Bartley and Red Pumps Red, but the camera angle's very deceiving. Those three are very close, a lot closer than the camera angle makes it look.
Yeah, so Bartley's just tacked off there. It was a bit hard to tell on camera, but Zoe and Red Punts did a really good job at kind of squeezing them out, pushing all the height and kind of forcing Bartley to fall in behind and tack off to get some clear air. Yeah, Imagine will be just getting in onto this shoreline and putting in a tack. They've picked up a really nice vein of pressure that's just coming down this shoreline. Yeah, and little waves behind them. They're riding them really nicely, and I estimate they'll probably take it as close in as they can. You can see that boat is just dead flat, really smooth. And that's about as close to the rocks as you want to go. We're in there. Yeah, and Red Pumps Red have just tacked off as well a bit sooner. There's Canberra Airport in the lineup there. They're up in the sort of top 4 or 5. Big improvement on their last race.
I think a few of the teams from the first race would be hoping for a lot better result this one.
Looking for some redemption. Yeah, so Imagine had to go behind Canberra Airport there, so very good gain from those guys. We've got Red Pumps Red. Looks like they'll cross everyone here, and I think they will lead. Yeah, I think they'll work to put themselves in a comfortable position heading up to the top mark.
Was there any obvious reason why Bartley Constructions, did you see, take out early?
Squeezed out.
They got squeezed out, okay.
Yeah, they couldn't hold their line above Red Pumps Red. They had to tack out.
Right, yeah, because they've dropped back considerably.
Yeah, that tack out really hurt them, unfortunately.
So not on screen is the freshwater class Ferry Queenscliff leaving Manly Wharf heading for the city. So hopefully there is a line for them. You don't envy those ferry skippers at the best of times.
Yeah, looks like he's got a pretty good line to the left. I think he'll manage to keep clear of most of the fleet, Jimmy. But yeah, on approach now to the top mark. Zoe Dransfield with Jamie Stoddart, Flynn Sprott. But here comes Daniel Turner. He's going to try and slam one in here, is he?
Yeah, they've done really well on that upwind. So I think boats will do a normal set around here, kind of get themselves in as close to that cliff as they are comfortable and head on down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's a nice little line of pressure running down that shore, isn't there, Jess?
Yes,
you want to get into that and then jibe and run down that shoreline. Imagine signage in third place, and then the newcomers in the Canberra Airport, they've chosen to jibe set at the mark. Next up we'll have Imey with fill-in skipper Marshall Day down from Lake Macquarie. Very promising young sailor, Marshall. We've got Shebang and Modern Concept Constructions. And then the Bartley, yeah, they had a bit of a loss there, didn't they, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's what I was
very expensive.
Thought I'd ask the question.
Yeah, I think that benefit you get off that little puff on the cliff and getting forced to tack out just didn't help them.
There's some fluid building with no signage. Botany Access. Geochemical assessments.
Got a tight rounding here with red pumps.
And Nozomi weren't going to lay that mark. They had to tack.
So it looked like, yeah, Typhoon and Aristocrat really overlaid the mark from a long way out. So hopefully they will learn their lesson for next time.
Worth a mention on Aristocrat. So another stalwart of the club, Daryl Millam, helming there, and he's taken on two young fellas who've stepped up from the juniors into the skiffs with Kobe Napa and Liam Karunaratne. And they'll be soaking in as much knowledge from Daryl as they can, I'm sure.
It's quite funny, that sponsorship, if you remember back when, with Chad Beebe, Daryl Millam and so on, all were sponsored by Aristocrat back in the day.
They were, yeah.
So that's really interesting on screen there, how Bartley did a jibe set and have come back right up to where Red Pumps Red was, and Imey.
Well, I think Red Pumps Red is suffering with that little spinnaker in this race, Jess.
Yeah,
it's like
I'd say so.
I think they just managed to pick it so right up the works on the first race that
they got ahead.
Yeah, and I think they'll be ruining themselves for this, but it's a killer, isn't it?
It's one of those things, if you don't realise until you get out on the water, it's too late, and you're just gonna do your best.
So Baz can't write 1 and 2 any bigger on the sail bag if he tried.
It's all right. I've made that mistake before, so.
The 13s that are just going past us is Buck and Simple is way out in front, with closely in second would be Harkin and Buckingham Marine Services with Texco, which is a new sponsor that came on end of last season.
Yep. Texco is Angus Griffin and Ewan Darlow. Buck and Simple, Lockie Jensen, who's another great young sailor who's come through the fleet, through the junior ranks and into the skiffs. it's Max Barrett sailing with him this year.
There's Amy on the screen that I think are now up into second.
Coming in the shot will be Daniel Turner in Buckingham Marine with a handy lead.
Yeah, definitely a fair few more tactics on the upwinds and downwinds now. They need to think a lot more carefully about their jibes, and you hope that your crew work is up to scratch so you can jibe when you want to, and you know that it won't lose you a huge amount of time.
Left-hand turn looks a bit favoured at the moment, but we'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah.
There's Shebang on screen there with both Georgia and Alana Clancy on board today, I believe. Buckingham Marine with the throw everything at once drop. Fraught with danger.
And that used to be, well, the guy that could get it right was Trent Barnabas in the 18s. Many have tried and many have failed.
Yeah. Has very long arms that move very quickly.
Yeah.
And didn't we see that move not go so well in the 18-footers last season, Jimmy?
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
He's Rob Napper's favourite drop of all time, the jibe drop.
Yeah, they did really well there. They are currently in second.
A few times I've had Rob thank me for putting him under that amount of pressure.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, very, very kind words they were. Yeah. Shebang, they're going well, Shebang. They're going to round this mark in third place. I think they're going to beat all comers to the other mark. Imagine signage coming into the right-hand turn mark.
Yeah, dropping their kite a bit early on Imagine, so Shebang have done well to get around in third.
They've probably left it a bit late.
Yeah, looks like MCC will be next.
And this is the difference in having a spinnaker chute. Where you pull a rope and it sucks all the spinnaker down a hole up the front of the boat. And for the viewers at home, Imagine signage around the other mark right now. I don't think it's going to be a long stand on that tack looking at the angle that they're on.
No, I don't think so either, Jimmy.
Yeah, but they're going to be sailing through a lot of holes in the breeze with the rest of the fleet coming. They're the leeward of the fleet, so there's going to be a lot of holes in it, but this is very patchy now. As I mentioned before, there's some big holes in this breeze.
Just to the left of that shot, just behind Bartley going to the other mark, looks like red pumps red with that small spinnakers. That just shows how much of a curse that was for him.
First round the top mark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There they are now, just putting that away. Next into the left turn will be Typhoon with Alex Hart just in front of the Australian sailing team boat. I do like the look of that spinnaker, Jimmy.
Looks awesome.
Looks fantastic with the logo on there, yeah.
And with Hamilton Island, which is one of the sponsors of the Australian sailing team.
Yep, the very generous Oatley family.
There's Sutek coming around on the starboard rounding mark. Not as good as their first race, but hopefully they've got a bit of fight in them if they want to catch back up.
Red concrete, left turn. They'll be followed by Buck and Simple, Tommy Cameron.
Just got to get the 13. Come on down.
that one, yeah. Just the stragglers, but coming in late here, we have Avliner with a very early drop. They've been having some spinnaker problems, I think, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, now on Avlinia we've got brothers Angus Wheatley and Lachlan Wheatley joining up with Blake Wilson for today. And as far as I know, Angus is flying in from Queensland every single Saturday to sail, so very keen. Good on them for the commitment, and yeah, keen to see how they go this year.
Those guys have a background in the 420 class, so quite a step up from a small two-handed symmetric spinnaker boat to a much faster asymmetric boat. We've got Buck and Simple with the yellow spinnaker there leading the 13 fleet. They're going to be fairly close, but Buckingham coming in from the other side. Yeah, probably Buckingham will cross them.
There they are.
And they're on starboard jibe anyway. There they are now on screen. That's Ash Napper. So Rob Napper, the bowman on Imey. Ash is the youngest of four kids, yeah. And Kobe, his oldest son, is on the Aristocrat now with Daryl Millen mentioned earlier. So Theo Franklin and Ash want to really give it a good nudge this year. So I don't think they will be leaving any stone unturned. Buck and Simple in second, and Heidi Bates in third in the Harkin, third place with Zara Marks crewing. They're looking really good on the water too, those two girls. So I think they've been putting in a bit of practice time.
Yeah, definitely.
So practice paying off for them. So that top three quite tight. A few more of the 13s just coming past the back of us there.
And on screen now we've got Red Pumps Red, with Red Pumps MCC Shebang all in the background.
And the 13's coming down, the little Imey and the kitchen maker. Shout out to Darren, who is also one of the longer, I think he's the second longest sponsor in the 18 footers.
Yep. And celebrated his 50th birthday this week too, along with his dad, who's a great man, Ralph. It was his 80th, I think, so happy birthday to the McCavanaghs. Great supporters of sailing, the kitchen maker. There's the rest of the 13 fleet there now coming through. Last one's just up at the top mark now, but Buckingham Marine, Daniel Turner, he's on approach to the top mark now, and he's got a very handy lead.
So on screen we've got Imey, MCC and Shebang. Falling into a bit of light air in the middle of the course, so they're going to have to work really smoothly and hard through this to the top. There is Buckingham Marine just rounding the top mark for the second time. So yeah, Dolly, they've really put strong lead up that leg.
Yeah, they sailed a solid beat there, and they've definitely extended. Fantastic set too from Gus and Matt. That kite just went up and popped. Really showing their class this race. As I said, they've won the club championship title at Manly before.
Here we have Imagine heading into a similar way where they did on the first upwind, so they're tucking in really nice to that cliff.
You obviously liked what they saw in there before. We saw there was good pressure there, and looking at Daniel Turner there, he's hooked onto a really nice buff that he'll be jibing onto shortly.
Yeah, that's a really great angle they've got there.
They'll be setting up because they're running out of water. Here we go. They'll be hoping that they jibe back onto that same vein of pressure. It looks like they might have just missed it.
It's always a shame when you're in a really good gust and then your water runs out.
Terra firma appears.
Oh no, they're back on it now. They're looking good, really stretching away now.
Yep, so here's our next boats just heading up to the top mark. So Shebang, done really well up that leg, rounding in second.
Bit of girl power.
Yeah, go the girls. And Ant.
And Ant will...
No, that's Smithers on there, I think, isn't it? On the sheet.
Yeah, I think so, James. So that was a minute 45 seconds lead to Buckingham there.
Oh, no.
Right, MCC and Imee very close, third and fourth. And Imagine coming in fifth.
Finding the pressure down this run will be pretty crucial. Just seen Buckingham Marine they just dropped out. It's gone pretty quiet down where they are now, closer to the Bombora. Looks like they might be just starting to pick up a little bit more pressure again now, but they were very, very still in the water there for a minute. It's just managing to pick these gusts and stay in the pressure down the run.
Next around will be the Canberra Airport with Fluid and Bartley Constructions and the geochemical assessors chasing very hard with the two red pumps.
Yeah, Zoe managed to make a little bit of ground on that upwind, but now they'll come downwind again in this light pressure with the smaller spinnaker. They're going to struggle again, I think. It's the Canberra Airport boys doing a lot better this race. I'll be more than happy with that, I think. Maybe had a couple of troubles in that first race that we might have missed, but not where they want to be in this fleet.
And it looks like Fluid on screen having a bit of trouble getting their kite up.
A lot of trouble, Jess.
Yes.
How do you like your prawns, Jess?
Not like that. Yeah,
So
back on Shebang on screen there. Looks like they're in a really nice line of breeze.
Great race from them today. Hopefully they can hang in there. They've got some pretty hot contenders tied on their tail in Modern Concept and Imagine.
Just in the background of that shot, the Harkin looks like they've taken the lead in the 13-foot skiffs. So
yeah, probably be close between them and Buckingham, but yeah, they've certainly made a move. Shebang and MCC trading jibes there. A bit of a Simo jibe between the two of them there. Now Imagine have jibed on a similar line. Great crew work there from Ricky Bridge, I've got to say. You really got that kite sorted and then handed off to Mel. Just make our way down into the sun, which is making it pretty hard for us to see who's who. But Buckingham Marine approaching the gate with pressure that looks like it's shifted more to the back to the north again, Jimmy.
Yeah, it just it blew a one of the 13s over. That 13 there, just in the background. I think they would have liked that little bit of coverage they just got from the Buckingham Marine to try and get that spinnaker in. Though it looked like they were going to go in the other way on. I think that's QED by the looks of it. Bit hard to see at the moment with the, as you said, Dole, with the light burning into our eyes.
Yeah, breeze well in the left, looking upwind here at the moment. So pretty much, well, almost northwest, I'd say, here at the moment. But I think as we get further up course, it'll change again. But right here at the bottom mark, quite a shift in the Bombora, in the breeze direction, making it very tricky. It's very patchy too.
Ooh, close call between Fluid 13 and Texco at the bottom mark. Texco having problems getting their spinnaker in.
But we're just overhead shot there. You can see MCC squeezing over the under a 13 that's having a bit of a swim there, and it's going to be pressure on for them and Shebang at this mark. Very real hard work for Alana Clancy here to get that kite away. It's a jibe drop. That change in breeze directions made it really tough mark rounding down here. They've come in on a tight lay line and have to just drop and get that kite down. Jibe and get the kite down. Next in's Imagine.
The one that got spat out a bit there was the Imey in the background, just with the orange chute.
Work to do for these three.
Yeah, so there's Imey on screen now. Just fallen into a bit of a lull, but they're getting themselves back out again.
There's about to be a little bit of pressure on here. I think they're going to be setting up for this pressure drop as well.
Yeah, you can see they're pushing hard just to try and give them as much space between them and the mark as possible, so you can jibe around with the time that you want.
Putting Rob to work, no better man for the job to get this done. Watch him weave his magic.
Yeah, nice drop.
Overhead.
Well done.
Need someone on wire. There we go. Big Treno gets out there and it soon gets flat.
So Canberra Airport will be next. So these boats have one more windward, a leeward, and then finish up the top. So 3 more legs to go.
Good little recovery there from Geochemical Assessments. They went for a jibe drop, and with the change of direction, the boom wouldn't go across. They found themselves in a bit of trouble there. And with red pumps, red hull, but just red pumps coming in with the spinnaker chute, and that'll make it look a much easier procedure. They just ran out of pressure there, though, the red pumps.
It's almost like the breeze is lifting off right at that mark on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking very tricky, and I don't see it getting any easier.
Yeah, so on screen there, up in the distance, we have Buckingham Marine. So it seems like they got around in some nice pressure and, yeah, playing up the right-hand side of the course more this time.
Now, I haven't been throwing rocks out the window. Have we got another? Are we heading up to the finish, or have we got one more lap
That's
to
what we've
go?
got Jess on, mate. We've got the smart one on.
Yeah, the mathematician. Another whole lap we've
Another
got?
lap and another leg up to the finish.
So, yeah, you can see the boat's going to windward there now. MCC with Imagine and Shebang. Shebang just had some trouble holding height out of there against the two slightly more fancied boats. It looks like MCC has managed to climb out and over Shebang. So that's those three boats are fighting it out for second, third and fourth at the moment. And it's pretty close. I think Shebang will cross MCC.
Oh, the MCC choosing to tack.
Better option to tack underneath, and I
Yep.
suspect they'll try and put the squeeze on them, Jess.
Yeah, I'd say so. They'd be working hard right now.
And it's a very long fetch from there into this top mark to be getting squeezed and then going into someone's gas, but see how they can hold up.
Yeah, so it looks like our start boat has set themselves up for a shortened course at the top this time. Yeah, they don't often get a whole lot of warning about that for our sailors, so I guess you've always got to be working your hardest, doing your best just in case. And I guess you can get a bit of a sense of how long the course has been and how time's been running. So yeah, it looks like, from as far as I can tell, boats will be finishing this time up.
Yeah, it looks like they're on station and the 13s have finished. So there's going to be a ding-dong battle. Buckingham Marine, Daniel Turner with Matty Stenner and Gus Williams. They're going to take the win here, but back behind them there's going to be a real battle for second place. There's a drag race going on between Georgia Clancy and Shebang.
Just such an excellent drone shot of them there.
Yeah, look at that. You know, I thought that MCC would put the squeeze on and be able to bounce them out, but that's not happening.
Yeah, I think Shebang just had a bit too much speed when MCC went in for the tack, and it was hard for them to kind of fight for it.
Really good battle for second place, well, second, third and fourth between Shebang, Modern Concept Constructions and Imagine Signage.
Yeah, well, why Modern Concept Constructions and Shebang have been in a bit of a battle. Imagine's been able to do their own thing, and they're
Slipping through to leeward, aren't they?
Slipping through to leeward, so that second place is going to be the one to watch.
Yeah,
but
very tight.
Don't tear up your tickets.
Okay, I think we're finishing. Are we? Yeah, we are. We're at the finish now. So it looks like Harkin's won that one.
In the 13s, we believe Harkin got there. We could be wrong, but don't forget, check the website, and that's where you'll find the results, and we'll We'll actually show you the results on the 11th. How's that for a deal?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was them or Buckingham Marine.
Or Buckingham, yeah, maybe Buckingham.
I think it might have been Buckingham
Well, there
Marine.
look, we got it right in the 16s anyway.
Yep.
Dole. It was
They
Buckingham
might,
Marine.
have, they might have been. It might be a double for the 13-16.
Yeah, so MCC on screen just tacking out now from that bad air, and as predicted, Shebang are going to put a cover on with Imagine very close as well.
This is a great battle for second place. But George has done well there. She's in the controlling position. She can just go across there and wait for them to tack on top of them, and they won't be able to escape a gas or get through to leeward. So
Yeah, I think she'll hold them off as long as she wants to, knowing that the finish is not
well, they're
too far away.
above lay line
They
there
are
now.
above lay, yes.
Nathan Wilmot's decided to bail out and just go.
Concede.
Yeah. Need a good tack here, guys. Come on.
Yep, and the drag race is on.
Nice and close on Shebang, the one on the left.
Looks like Shebang will have it.
Go the girls.
Yeah, well done to
Fantastic
them.
race.
That's really, really good race from them. MCC over next with Imagine not too far behind.
A minute 20 was the delta between first and second. So a pretty convincing win there to Buckingham Marine, Dan Turner. So Imagine through in fourth. And we've got a bit of a gap.
To Imey will
Back.
be next.
Yeah.
Dole.
So much better effort from Marshall Day in this second race. So he'd just be finding his feet. Young guy, not a lot of 16 experience from Lake Macquarie, so he doesn't know the Manly track that well, but I'm sure he's been very well advised from Trent and Rob, who are two of the most experienced in the game, both with multiple titles between them and together.
Tell you who's coming up really well through the fleet is Red Pumps Red, even with that
Amazing, right?
little spinnaker. So, because it'll be Imey, then Canberra Airport, then it's going to be close between Red Pumps Red and geochemical assessments. Sorry, Nathan, I'll get it right. I know it's.
I've been practicing it all week, mate.
I'm glad you have, Dole.
Because you know what I'm like, Jimmy. I do get my tongue in a twist sometimes. So, yeah.
So there's the Imey just crossing the line.
I kept having geotechnical in my head for some reason, and it's geochemical.
But wasn't there a 12?
There was geotech.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that Hobbo? No.
Jonathan Temple. I
Jonathan
think.
Temple, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not going mad, Dole. It's just our old brains
I know.
need to be reprogrammed.
Yeah, ADD.
So, well done to Canberra Airport. And
Yeah.
another long-term sponsor of 16s and 13s, Bigfoot Sailing in the 13s, just about to cross the line. So, shout out to Mark Sear. Been an unbelievable sponsor for this club.
Yep. G'day, Mark, if you're watching. Top bloke too.
Great guy. Here's geochemical assessments crossing the line. And this is going to be real close between Red Pumps Red and Bartley Construction. So Bartley for mine, maybe. I don't know.
it's gonna be
Red Pumps
very
Red just
close.
surged there.
You've
They
got
can
a
fold
nicely
over, Zoe.
lined. Yeah, Red Pumps are going to get it.
Got there.
Yeah, good on them for still fighting and sailing really well, even despite their maybe big error.
JD, if you're watching, they needed you out here in the rim today, mate, to run back to the beach for them.
Oh, he'll be kicking himself. What could have been.
They were lightning fast upwind, that's for sure today.
So, yeah, but like They could have started this club championship with 2 bullets.
I know.
Yeah.
They got 1. It's not bad, but God, you'd be ruining at the end of the club championship.
All right, well, next we've got Red Pumps, followed by Botany Access. Yeah, and I guess that's part of the reason why if we sail enough races, you do get a drop, your worst result of the series. So
yeah, that's one saving grace, but
Yeah.
you don't want to use that up too early
No,
in
not
the
too early.
championship.
And I just wonder, Zoe without Hugh here, Hugh's very particular about, everything's
No,
right.
he's not.
You know
pretty-
what he's like, mate. That wouldn't have happened on Hugh's watch. But anyway,
There's
these
a
things
fluid
happen.
13 finishing just ahead of Texco. So the Texco's not quite a nice colour on the boat. I like that.
yeah, it looks good.
And then the Typhoon, Alex and the team.
And up next will be Sutek. Not as good as their first race, unfortunately.
They got a bit lost in that one, but had a great first heat, so I'm sure they'll bank that.
Still be a celebration night for them.
There will be.
Come on now. John, I seem to have
We've got a tight finish between Altus, Aristocrat, and the Australian sailing team.
16 Australian.
Yeah, not a bad hit out from the AST sailors today. I'm sure they've realised the
Aristocrat got him right on the line.
yeah.
Yep.
Daryl Millam, well done, mate.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No,
Doc.
no, but I'm sure the Australian sailing team guys now realise the hotbed that they've been thrust into with the skiffs here. So hopefully it's beneficial to their program moving forward, and we can get a real mix of sailors from different Olympic classes coming in and sailing the 16.
I think it'd be good too, like with them being around and for some of our younger guys and girls to look up to and get to, it's all good and well us reading results and bits and pieces from the Australian sailing team, but to actually put a face to the name
Yep.
and to engage with them is pretty cool. Like it was like when Pagey won his first gold medal and got him down with the kids down here in Manly, and he still engages with them. So it's good to see.
Yeah, I was one of those young little kids when Malcolm came in and gave
Yeah.
us a little talk, and I was just starstruck. So cool.
Yeah,
And now to have competed against him is just such a cool thing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is, and it's as Dol alluded to, it is a bit of a humble learning ground for the Australian sailing team. Like I remember when Mal and Nath won that gold, and then they jumped into 16 Ronston, and
Yeah.
everyone was going, the people were trying to come up with rules to exclude them from sailing.
Yeah.
And I remember the first race, which was at Scarborough up in Queensland. We beat them, and I was stoked. I was like, mate, better than an Olympian, but
You went to the $2 shop and got one of those little gold medals.
no, I got Nathan's one from Melbourne. No, only joking. I don't have it, Nathan.
You've still got that in the cupboard, mate. Come on.
So, no, I've been pretty lucky to hang around with some of the Australian sailing guys, and, they're all great people, and so are the girls, so it's good to see. But we might wrap up proceedings here today for today's first 2 heats of the club championships at Manly 16-foot Skiff Club. Please join us on the 11th of next month for Heat 3, one long course. Dole, all the best overseas, mate. We'll be tuning in and checking it out. And
Thank you, mate. And thanks for the support from... I've had a bunch of support from a lot of people helping me get there, so... and my training partners, it's been quite a journey to get to where I am now, so I'm really looking forward to it, mate.
Hopefully we're sitting next to a gold medalist when you get back, mate.
We'll see. If I get one from the $2 shop.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll see what we can do. Jess, thanks as always for jumping in and helping out in commentary. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
And,
Love being here.
I'll check your diary to see if you're available for the next one, but we'll let you know soon enough. So this has been a Sail Media production for the Manly 16-foot Skiff Club. Thank you for joining us.
Afternoon.
See ya.